Hello, children. So, we have some equipment to review today. It is from TFCC, Arm Wrestling, Top Force Cut Cup, okay? They're not paying me to make the video. They offered to pay me to make these videos, but then I felt obligated to just say only nice things. So I said, I will do the video for free, but that way I'm not beholden to them, okay? First thing they sent was these karate belts. This one's pretty cool. It says arm wrestling in English here, and then in their native language, it says, "We love you, Uncle Todd. We wish you the best of fortune in all of your endeavors." I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it translates to. These belts weren't super popular 10 or 15 years ago. Kids, you have to have one of these, okay? For one thing, this basically replaces all your dumbbell work, okay? A lot of people say hammer curls are the best. You should, with these belts, replace your hammer curls with a riser curl, okay? That will hit you, that's a lot more better. That is way more effective than a dumbbell hammer curl. The other version to replace your hammer curls with is with a pronating curl, okay? And so replace them in your dumbbell exercises with that. And then you can also do a supinating version of your hammer curl. So you wrap it around just your hand. You start with your palm down and supinate your hand as you lift it, okay? So you can pretty much throw away your barbell curls, your dumbbell curls, your easy bar curls. I also do a lot of work with these belts on my pulley machine. One of my favorite is to grab it with both hands on the pulley machine and do basically riser-based rows or supinating-based rows. Okay, what else do we got? What we started with, this is funny, because this is a multi-spinner, and it's bigger than a 2x4. I originally built mine out of a 2x4. I really like these flat multi-spinners just because of the position it puts my hand in. And you can do it both, pronating style and a supinating style. This is a little bigger than the 2x4. It's got a textured surface on it, but this is my favorite form of multi-spinner and has been for about a year. The only thing, TFCC, we need a wrist wrench based out of this, okay? I want the exact same handle, but I want two straps, so I now have a flat wrist wrench. I have one at home built out of a 2x4. You guys need to make one of these. My homemade ones, I had to make a right one and a left one because I didn't have the ability to attach the strap into a 2x4 like that. So I just tied the strap on. But these plastic ones, and I'm assuming this is 3D printed, just because it's got a little pattern here that looks like the, I don't know what you call the substrate on a 3D printing machine. And there's no obvious parting lines as if it was injection molded. Those 3D printers have really revolutionized low volume manufacturing, and arm wrestling is reaping the benefits of it because there's a lot of these custom style handles out there. We also have of course this one's got a black strap instead of the white strap. A traditional round multi-spinner. This one's a little small for my hand. I actually like a multi-spinner a little bit bigger than this, but again, it's got a textured surface. If you don't have a multi-spinner, and there's a video on my channel how mine's homemade out of a piece of PVC pipe, but well built. It's a lot of stitching on that strap to hold that strap together. That's good. This, I'm sure it's strong enough, but everything in the gym tends to have like way overbuilt metal clips on it. But, you know, very nice multi-spinner. TFCC, yet another multi-spinner. This one's shaped like that thing in your nightstand. It's got a little taper to it. It's got a little handle on it. This one's kind of neat. It's got a little place to put your stash. You can put your goodies in there when you're. This one's closer to the size I want. These taper handles, I've seen other manufacturers make the tapered handles. I'm not exactly sure why, because I would still train this in a supinating version or train with a pronating version. But I do like the little pocket to put your stash. This is kind of nice how it's got that control lip on it, because when you're working heavy on multi-spinners, you know, if your hand starts to go, that'll sometimes fall off. And Artem almost killed me when a multi-spinner let loose on him. If you notice, this one doesn't have the little, I don't know what you call this, safety feature on it. That doesn't look like anything in your nightstand. The last thing they sent me was the classic wrist wrench. This one, I have one of the bigger wrist wrenches I've seen. Well, not the biggest. Mine's a 3-inch piece of scheduled 40 steel pipe, so it's heavy. This one's lightweight. This one feels larger in diameter than mine, so I will definitely start using this. The only thing, there's two things I recommend for TFCC. If you go to build a second generation of these, you can lose this. We really don't need this feature on wrist wrenches, okay? Because the straps typically don't come off. Usually on a wrist wrench, you can control it. The other thing is, it's just a little too big, okay? When you're using it on a pulley machine and you're doing whatever work, I'm just gonna stick my arm through there to keep it. So when you're doing this, if you're doing it on a table, it's just all this extra height just makes it awkward. It tends to hit you to the bottom. It tends to hit the table too soon if you're doing any low work. Typically on my multi-spinners, it should be, if this could be shortened up to where right there would fit my hand. If you're Brian Shaw or Levon or somebody, you could probably extend it down to there. So this thing is probably 25% longer than it needs to be. Not a blistering criticism or anything, just something you might think about when you go to make generation 2 of this, is it's just a little longer than it needs to be. One thing I love about TFCC is they didn't put one of those stupid straps that goes around your wrist on it, because then I just got to throw those away. Again, top force cut. All right. High quality stuff. I like it. I definitely like. This is my favorite out of all of them, but please make me a wrist wrench version of this. All right, kids, if you need equipment, check them out. They're on Instagram, and of course they have a website. Thanks.